All right, today I'm going to be making a kinetic bio scrapper. I have not done any prior research before making this video. I'm just pretty much getting started at my desk right now. Haven't really gone through, looked at the abilities yet, or really thought about too much about what I want to do with this build. So this video is going to be a little bit slower, and I'll be making mistakes because I'm kind of be figuring it out in the moment of making this video. Uh, this way you can kind of see the way that I go about just making decisions for what is good and what I think would be good for a build. Also, the cool part about this build, Kinetic Bio Scrapper, I am very familiar with Bio, and I've built many Bios, different sets, and definitely have a lot of experience with Bio as a secondary. It's my favorite secondary to build for scrappers, and maybe even any. It's definitely not the best on a tank, but it's still really fun to build for. It's a really great set, but for scrappers, definitely it's the best secondary in the game, hands down. The damage is just insane, and as a scrapper, you just want to do as much damage as possible. So, love this set, know how to build for it, no problem. But Kinetic Melee is not a set that I've built for on a scrapper before. I have built it on a tank. The reason why not, it's interesting because it's one of the newer sets. It was not out originally in the game, and or early on in the game. I think it was out on, I'm not sure if it was out on live or not, but generally the later the set came out, the better it is. So, for example, Bio, it came out later as well, and it's one of the best sets in the game. So that tends to be the case. So what's strange is not only is this one not good, but it's actually like one of the worst melee sets in the game. Well, excuse me, just for scrappers, that is. It has a pretty great side effect to it, which is that pretty much every attack you have siphons their power. It makes them do a little bit less damage. So 5% less, and it should be to all forms of, wait a minute, not psionic. Okay. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. These kind of niche things to know. I didn't realize it wasn't for all types of damage. It's only to smashing lethal, fire cold, energy negative. So this debuff that you get from Kinetic Melee doesn't even apply to toxic or psionic, but it does stack. So 5% here, 5% here. Let's see if the AoE attacks are 5%. Let's try burst. 11%, see, okay. And then maybe this one's even bigger. Nope, also 5%. All single target is 5%. That one doesn't even have any. Smashing blow, all 5%. Okay, so burst has the most debuff. That's good to know. Okay, so pretty great side effect because it makes the targets do less damage. So that can stack up. I could see you getting easily 20%. 20% damage reduction is pretty great. But scrappers really want to do damage, and the problem with Kinetic Melee is it's really low in the damage department. So it's generally a set, a lot like most people don't take this set. But that being said, for today, we're going to try to make the best Kinetic Melee build that we can. And the thing is it's known for not doing damage. It doesn't really do much damage, but Bio increases your damage a lot. So I don't think this is going to be a bad set at all. It's probably the best thing to pair with Kinetic because it does offset the weakness of Kinetic, which is damage. Okay. So we can just dig right in here. Unless there's anything I want to talk about here. The last thing with Kinetic Melee is just so you don't think it's just always bad. It's not always bad. It's great on tankers Tankers are a really special type of melee class because they don't do much damage, but the thing that, and it doesn't even really, you can't even see it in these numbers either, so, but you may not know about tankers is they have higher numbers for debuff. So the multiplier for their debuffs are higher than all of the other melee classes. So if we remember, Kinetic melee had 5%. It was like almost 6%. It was like 5.6 for the melee attacks, for the single target ones. Let's see what it is on a tanker. 7%. So it's like 1.5% more. Burst was like 11%. Now it's 14, so it's like 3% more. It's interesting. The numbers aren't that different for Kinetic, but because the numbers are low in the first place, but if it's proportionately, it's like almost 20% of an increase of how much debuff you're doing. Okay, so 20% extra, and the debuff, as we said on the Scrapper, was already pretty good. So now it's 20% better. So this means that basically the best sets in general for a tank are the ones that really let a tank shine, or ones that are debuff, like Dark. Kinetic is another one. So Kinetic, this is great on a tank because you're all about, if you want to go full survivability, it's either this or Dark. This one makes them do less damage when they hit, and Dark, of course, makes them hit less by reducing their chance to hit. Okay, so that's that on Kinetic melee. We are now going to jump into making the build. So I already have a mids made that just has Kinetic melee bio armor on a Scrapper. Okay, so we'll start with this because we have to make a decision already. Do we want to take this one or this one? Okay, so first thing you want to look at is damage per activation. Body blow does a little bit more damage per activation. That means that it does more damage overall. Average damage does not always mean more damage. It's really just damage per activation that matters. So a little bit more damage on body blow, not really that much, a little bit. So what else do we want to look at? Activation time. How long am I going to be stuck in this animation? There's advantages and disadvantages to both. Sometimes you want more, sometimes you want less. If you have a lot of recharge and enough single target attacks, you want the quicker activation time. Slower activation times you want for procs, but neither of these would be good for procs, so we don't really care about that. The other thing to consider is, are you going for damage or are you going for the debuff? If you care about the debuff more, and let's say long term we wanted to focus on the debuff of this Scrapper and not worry about the damage, let's just say, then you would want to pick the first one. Let's see, let me double check. 4 seconds. Ooh. Okay, they do balance it out. You normally, if they had the same debuff, you would want to take the first one because you're just going for the debuff, so you can really quickly attack them with that and then attack with another ability even faster, 0.30 seconds faster. But it's not the same debuff. Quick Strike, 5.6% 4 seconds. Body Blow, 5.6% for 5 seconds. So that extra second is compensating for the difference in activation time. So there is no difference there. Now, they do have different effects. Quick Strike, it says, has a knock. Body Blow has a stun. Stuns are way better than knock. It does more damage. No brainer, we take Body Blow here. Which is, oops, that's the wrong window. Let's try this one. Which is not always the case, so that's pretty cool that you get to take that. Okay, Smashing Blow, I think we're going to come back to whether or not we take that once I decide what the single target rotation's going to be. I'm not sure yet. Actually, we could decide that right now. We have to go back here, though. Okay. Smashing Blow. So what I'm looking at here is what does the most damage? What's my single target rotation? So we have to take Body Blow. So that could be in the rotation, unless there's a reason not to keep it there. So that's one single target attack. 77, 51, 78. I'm only looking at activation time. So the lowest damaging of all of these was Focus Burst. Focus Burst is a range attack. I'm assuming that's why they're having it do a little bit less damage. 7-second debuff, not very significant. It has a knock on it. I'm thinking the only reason you take this is if you want an extra range attack. We're not going to want that. We're going to want to be up close anyways. So not going to take Focus Burst. So that's out of the rotation. The question is, do we need Smashing Blow and Concentrated Strike, or just one or the other? So Concentrated Strike, which is the tier 9. I'm getting really excited about this one, looking at that activation time, 2.83 seconds. You do want one ability in the Scrapper rotation that is really slow, and this is very slow, 2.83 seconds with a 20-second recharge time. And it has an accuracy bonus, and it is a range attack, and it's single target. This is the best combo for the Scrapper attuned. This is really great that Kinetic has this. Okay, it also has a stun included. This is awesome because that's going to stack with Body Blow. Body Blow only has a 20% chance. You know, stuns will be going off. This lasts for 11 seconds. Yeah, I mean, you're going to be hitting a lot of body blows, potentially. You'll be hitting one like every 5 seconds, I guess. Okay, so we're definitely taking Concentrated Strike. I'm thinking we're going to take the Sniper Patron if we're trying to do damage, which I think we should do to make up for Kinetic melee doing bad damage. So thinking in my head here, I don't know if we're going to need Smashing Blow. I think we roll with Burst. We're not going to take Repulsing Torrent. 40-degree radius, 45-degree arc is kind of just like Breath of Fire, which is not great. That's a really low radius, 40. Wow. Yeah. I don't think we're going to take it. It doesn't have the debuff, and it's a cone. 34 damage versus 29. It does a little bit more damage. Burst is going to be easier to use. Oh, it's only an 8-foot radius? I think that's kind of low. Okay. Yeah, 1, 2. Is that enough? What's the recharge on Burst? 15 seconds. Maybe we work in all three. Okay, I think I have an idea of... Man, I keep doing that. I think I have an idea of the rotation here. What does Power Siphon do? Adds small bonus to hit and modifies your other powers. They're now capable of draining strength of your enemies and adding strength. Wait, what? You have got to be kidding me. It only works when... There's no way. That would be crazy. Is it really saying that the debuff only works when you use that ability? Maybe it just means it does it more. Oh, I see. They add the strength to you. Okay, and they just don't tell you how. It lasts for 20 seconds. Okay, so you want to be... Okay, it has to be used on kinetic attack powers. Oh, this is interesting. I think we will take Repulsing Torrent then. Okay, so the way that this ability works is it gives you strength when you attack with your kinetic attacks. It drains this strength. Yeah, I mean, if it's a direct drain, you would want to do Power Siphon Burst because that gives you 11%. Then you would do any of the other ones. Probably a quick one, Body Blow. Yeah, you probably want to rack up the buff quickly. So you would do like, oh, Burst is slow. Wow. You would do Burst, Body Blow, Repulsing Torrent, and then probably Concentrated Strike. That would be your rotation. Okay. So we'll definitely want to take that. I think I'll still come back to it. I'm not sure. I'll take Hasten. Definitely taking Adaption. Oops, I accidentally grabbed Carapace. Repulsing Torrent, I'm still going to wait for a bit. I'll probably grab that near the end. Combat Jumping. Do we need Combat Jumping on a bio? Let me just review my bio build really quick. Oh, no. Let's Let's see. Do I have any bio on this account? No. Yeah, I didn't think about that. I'm gonna need my bio up. Okay. I'm actually gonna stop the stream here and I'm gonna start a new one in a second.